Hello everybody, my name is Algam, and welcome back to Deathmark. Previously, we beat Shimio and managed to free Mashta and Sho from the curse of the mark. Not Christy though, her mark is still there, so we are stuck with her for a little bit longer. But hey, that's another case solved and a hint towards what might be causing the mark. Are you retiring to bed? Good night. Oh wow, I was this close to getting that end screen. I could have probably just left that in the previous episode, but it's been 3 days since Shimio's defeat. Mashita and Sho have left, leaving only Christy and I at the mansion. We've not had any new mark bearers arrive, nor any new info on any spirits. Death's footsteps keep drawing closer. Good work, Lady Christy and Lord Yashiki. Did you obtain any clues? No, nothing really. I'd hoped, but... I see. Lady Sai's study seemed optimal to contain something of interest. Christy and I just finished investigating Sayakujo's study. It had been full of mountains of specialized books and piles of reports. It was a daunting task, but we did our best to search through them regardless. Except it was all futile. Everything was about healing the spirit, nothing mentioned the mark at all. Hey, Mr. Yashiki, don't you think it's useless to keep searching the mansion? You have any other ideas then? Well, remember what I said about H Shrine? Yes? Right, of course you would. I was thinking... maybe the shrine is connected to all this spirit stuff. That's what Shimio's notes said, right? Yeah, well, Shimio he was a bit far gone when he wrote those notes. Everything happening in the forest is the divine wrath of H Shrine. Then you think the mark and the spirit activity are because of this divine wrath. It's definitely a possibility. Disasters happen in many ghost stories and myths because of the wrath of gods. Isn't there value in looking into it? You're making a leap. Am I? Both the mark and the divine wrath aim to bring harm to humans? Christie's brimming with confidence. She seems in a much better mood than she was 3 days ago. Which I find surprising, since I would think it would have gotten worse, but... she's a famous reporter after all, so maybe this is what she's really like. So Mary, I'd like to go see H Shrine. You don't mind, do you? It is true many unpleasant rumors surround that forest. If the cause is H Shrine, there may be some clues there. But even if there are, if it's spiritual, then how are normal humans like us supposed to find it? Christy and I don't have spiritual powers. In that case, could you bring me along with you to H Shrine? I should be able to sense the presence of anything spiritual. I can act as a guide as well. You know that shrine? Yes, in truth, it enshrines the guardian deity of the Kujo family. Over the generations, the heads have taken care of the shrine. However, that came to an end after the recent war resolved. As one who serves the Kujos, I am concerned about its present state. Then bringing you along would mean I have to carry you, don't I? As it is impossible for me to walk, I would agree with that assessment. I am sorry to inconvenience you. An overgrown forest in the dead of night. I'm not looking forward to having to carry Mary all the way to the shrine. You look worn out and we haven't even left. It's a small price to pay if we can get any hints about the spirits. That is true. I think Mary's eager about this too, so I'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. Okay, let's go back to the forest. Is something the matter? Well, that's a new voice line. Are you not heading to H Shrine? No, I just wanted to talk to you, Mary. You're one of the few comforts left in this world. Before we leave, we put Mary in the back seat. Thank God she's not as heavy as she looks. I should be able to carry her just fine. By the way, Mr. Yashiki, have you read the files over there? Zoom! She points to the right side of the room and shelves packed with files. Not yet. I've searched most of the mansion, but I haven't checked the garage. Oh, really? Christy grabs a file and flips through the pages. Looks like articles on various crimes. The clippings cover every incident in each city and the surrounding area. Was Miss Kujo looking into criminal activity? Any of it look related to the mark? No, not as far as I can tell. These are all extremely old. The most recent is dated 5 years ago. She puts the file back. Alright, should we head out soon? Us and the gang are off to solve a new mystery. What was that? I skipped it. I park outside the entrance of the forest and gather Mary into my arms. We make our way to the familiar arch. There's still a long way to go. A middle-aged man carrying a doll. You're practically a ghost story yourself if someone sees you here. Hey, we got a nice close-up view of Mary. I am very sorry to cause you such trouble. Mary stares up at me as I hold her. Her skin and hair glint bewitchingly when the light from the flashlight catches them. I have not been outside in a long time. And to go hiking in the arms of such a fine gentleman. This is a very precious experience. She sounds as dispassionate as ever, but is she actually having fun? Still, it is just as the rumors say. This forest is filled with curses and resentment of the dead. Simply their presence is enough to drive the living mad. The land is tainted. I can see why it has given birth to monstrous spirits. I bet if you track down the cause of it, it'll be the divine wrath. Let's hurry to the shrine. We reach the old Torii gate with no trouble. We stand and watch for a while, but nothing comes out of the beehives. They seem to be sleeping. It is most likely because Shimio is now gone. Each shrine is up those stone steps. At Mary's direction, we walk toward the gate. A small black shadow flits across our feet. It's that Usagi again. So this is the rabbit you told me about, Lord Yashiki. You're correct. It is very cute. The rabbit stares up at the two of us, then disappears toward the shrine. What in the world was that about? What do you think, Mary? I felt a strange presence. It appears to be possessed by some kind of soul. So it's a spirit too. Indeed. Though it does not appear strong enough to give marks to humans. We know nothing of its true nature, so please proceed with caution. You follow the rabbit under the torii gate and up the stone steps. At the top, we find the wilderness creeping in. There doesn't seem to be anything here but an old altar. Is this each shrine? Sadly, it has fallen into disrepair. The war was over 50 years ago. I suppose this was to be expected. That black rabbit is gone. Deserted shrines give me the creeps. Let's hurry up and get to searching so we don't stay here long. Left the shrine and went down the stairs. Okay, well, I have to try it. I have to try, alright? There's a sacred Shiminawa rope on a ragged boulder. I wonder if that boulder is an Iwakura. What's that? According to ancient Shinto tradition, it's a sacred rock that a god descended on. It's not uncommon for the rock itself to become an object of devotion. Headless Buddha statues are buried in the ground. Creepy. I wonder what happened here. Well, there's nothing else but this. It's a wooden shrine altar. A clouded mirror serves as the Go Shintai. Looks like it's true then. No one's taken care of this place for a long time. I peek inside the altar just in case, but all I find is a thick layer of dust. The Go Shintai's outside and the altar's empty. That's concerning. I don't think there's any more we can search. The Buddha statues concern me. Why are all the ones within the shrine missing their heads? Shinto and Buddhism were ordered to be separated during the Meiji period. Before then, many shrines were dedicated to both. Each shrine was much the same. But in the Meiji period, there was a push to make Shinto the main religion. The faiths were forced apart. Extremists stole the Buddhist statues from shrines and desecrated them. Oh, the famous anti-Buddhist movement. So this is where that happened? No, it was done in a public space as they wanted to make a show of it. The broken statues were carried here to serve as a memorial for worship. The Kojo family head was said to be aggrieved, so he moved them in secret. It seems that all the broken statues from around each city were buried here. Strange. You said they were worshipped, but this place is pretty much a ruin. You have a keen eye, Lord Yashiki. The shrine was subsequently dug up and the statues were stolen. So they came all the way into this huge forest just to carry off broken statues? Who would do something like that? That I do not know. I merely heard they were stolen 50 years ago, around the time of the war. So the statues were broken, thrown away, and then dug up? They say the Buddha has a wealth of patience, but even he'd get angry. Could that anger have turned to divine wrath and given birth to the mark and spirits? Mary, have you been able to feel the presence of any spirits or whatever? About that, this land is much more foreboding than I had imagined. The enmity of the forest swallows all else. It is hard to sense beneath it. So, too much background noise, right? Yes, although I do sense the same presence as Lady Christie's mark, however faint. I'm sure the spirit that gave her the mark is somewhere in the forest. So after all that, we were only able to reconfirm something we already knew. Forgive me, I was unable to. You don't have to apologize, Mary. We learned plenty of value here. What do you mean? I'll tell you on the way back. First, let's get the hell out of here. This place gives me the creeps. Maybe it's the ill will Mary sensed. You're gonna make me walk all the way back? We leave each shrine walking down the beast trail toward the forest entrance. Maybe it's because of that strange tale, but for some reason I feel like someone is watching us from the darkness of the trees. It could be another spirit. Could be the one that we're hunting. Let's ghost. We begin driving back to the mansion. As we break out of the dense forest, I can see building lights pop up here and there. Well, that was a complete waste of time. My anxiety lifted. I don't even bother to filter the words that slip out of my mouth. Oh, I don't think that's true. It's all coming together for me. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Without further prodding, Christy starts in on her theory, passion evident in her voice. I believe Shimio was right. Each shrine is definitely what's causing all that strange stuff in the forest. I'm sure it's those stolen statues. Don't you agree? I wonder. It feels like we just don't have enough info at this point to say one way or another. But there's no denying that a lot of strange things are going on in that forest. Between all the suicides and Shimio wandering around, it couldn't just be a coincidence, could it? I mean, probably. Then again, it could just be, there's one spirit that died there with a grudge, and then they dragged someone else. It ends up being this huge pyramid scheme of spirits dragging other people into it, And though that would be really funny. Like, just a horror story where the whole thing's just one big pyramid scheme of spirits dragging more spirits into the great beyond, If we research the shrine, we might learn more about the mark. I feel that's a lot safer than risking our lives looking for the spirit. Don't you think? You're just a coward, alright? You're just scared because you don't want to help me in facing a spirit. You might be right. My replies are half-hearted, which isn't what Christy was hoping for, so she falls silent. An awkward, uncomfortable silence settles. Lord Yashiki, please stop the car. Mary speaks for the first time since we entered the car. What is it? I sense a presence similar to Lady Christie's mark close by. What, did she get cursed by the road rage spirit or something? Following Mary's request, I park in a vacant rest stop on the outskirts of H City. Christy and I step out of the car. Grr. Oh, that's much worse. My mark is suddenly scalding. Is something nearby? Look, someone's over there. Dear God, it's a child. A small girl steps out of the telephone box. Why is a kid outside at this time of night? Thank you for bringing me here this late at night, Ada. I got to talk with Hanayome. Oh yeah? Glad to hear it. Oh no. A rather round young man appears stepping out of the shadows. You got your question answered, Suzu? Yeah, it's okay now. Hanayome sure is amazing, though. She knows where everything is. You got that right. She helped me find my limited edition Love and Hero phone strap I dropped. What's Love and Hero? What? You don't know? They're a popular idol group here. I'm trying to work on the voice. They've been all over TV lately. I'm surprised you haven't heard. TV's restricted at home. Mom says it rots your brain. Oh, Ada, is the bus coming soon? Oh, the last bus is on its way. We better go. We'll be in big trouble if your mom finds out we went out. Yeah. We watch from a distance for a while, but it's hard to determine their relationship. The pain from my scar is suddenly gone. Hey, Christy. What do you think? I turn, but Christy isn't there. Hey, you there! Just how do you know that girl? Depending on your answer, we'll report you for child abduction. Well, there goes Christy hounding the poor guy. Just calm down. I tried to placate her, but she won't budge. The man stumbles over his words. He looks flustered and overwhelmed. Hey, lady. Don't be mean to Ada. The girl rushes to stand defensively in front of him and glares at us. She seems a lot more level-headed than the flustered guy behind her. I asked him to help me, okay? I wanted to talk to Hanayome, so I had him come with me. Who's this Hanayome you keep mentioning? A ghost who helps find things. People say that you can talk to her from this telephone box. A ghost, huh? She looks at me. We're both thinking the same thing. Earlier the mark was hurting, so maybe... You guys look serious. What's going on? He nervously glances between us. Does this scar look familiar at all? Here, take a seat. I show them the mark on my right arm. Hey, hold on. What is this? That looks exactly like mine. He pulls off one of his gloves and reveals the mark on his hand. Is the scar, yeah? I saw an article on it in Opart's Monthly. They say it causes amnesia, even kills you, but that's nonsense. It's not all true, right? Right? Sounds like he'd heard the rumors, but chose not to do anything about it. That's no surprise, really. It's tough to believe it's real until your memory starts becoming noticeable. I've got one of those too. It showed up on my left wrist when I made that phone call earlier. Pulling up her sleeve, she shows us her mark. They both have the mark, and after calling Hanayome, that's more than a coincidence. Well, we can't just leave them here. Let's bring them to the mansion. We tell them what's going on and ask them to go to Kujo Mansion with us. I know that we just accused you of stranger danger, but you can trust us, right? Even though we're strangers and they say never to get into a random van with a stranger. It surprisingly doesn't take much to get them to come. I thought it'd take more convincing. Could partially be because they missed the last bus while talking to us. Before they climb in, I warn Mary to stay quiet until we get back. Might be a bad idea to freak them out. First, we introduce ourselves. The man's name is Eita Nakamatsu. The girl is Suzu Morimiya. They tell us they met through the readers column in Opart's Monthly. Suzu mentioned she was interested in Hanayome and Eita told her what he knew. Then she pestered him into bringing her to the rumored telephone box. They were out this late because of her. Her parents sound pretty strict. Her mother keeps a close eye on her after school, and she needs permission to go out. So she snuck out of the house after her mother went to bed. Hanayome is just as famous at my school as Hanahiko is. Hey, Eita. Please tell them about those rumors.
Do I have to? Okay, fine.
Eita reluctantly tells us at Suzu's request.
They're just rumors I read, but...
Hey, it's the girl on the title screen. Hey, remember that one story? You know, the one about the public phone box in H City? There's a ghost that looks like a bride, and she'll find what you're looking for. One of my friends actually tried it. He went to the specific phone box that lets you talk with ghosts. The phone suddenly started ringing. He slowly picked up the phone. But all he could hear was this weird smacking noise. He stayed on the line until... Did you see it? He heard a woman whisper. So he did what the rumors said to do and said, "No, I haven't seen it." Then she said, "What do you want to see?" His cat had gone missing, so he asked where it was. When he looked where the woman said it was really there. So the rumors are totally true. I want to go ask where my future bride is now. Oh, wanna come with me? Well, asking the dead bride what your future bride is doesn't sound like the best idea, but... And there. I carry Mary from the car and gently place her back on the sofa. Thank you very much. Being in your arms is not bad, but I am most calm when I am here. The doll really talked.
I can't say I expected that. Then does that mean that stuff about the mic is true too?
On the way over, we updated Suzu and Eita with just about all they needed to know. They may not completely believe us, but they're not rejecting it outright either. It seems like Ada in particular has already experienced some memory loss. Something about forgetting the names of anime characters or voice actors. Christy looked at him strange, but he appears to be taking it quite seriously. And Snoozu... Snoozu? Really? And Suzu snuck out of her house because she believed the rumors about Hanayome. They both believed in the occult already. I'm pretty sure they'll help us find a way to escape the mark. Granted, they're also really curious about Hanayome. Pardon me, but may I speak? The marks on Suzu and Eita. They are likely from Hanayome. And Lady Christie. The feeling I sense from your mark is the same as theirs. So we can assume Hanayome also gave the mark to you. Do you recall encountering her? Something weird did happen. Right before I entered the forest, I stepped in the phone box on Tea Mountain. The phone rang out of nowhere. Oh, it might be because of that. The telephone box at the rest area is also in the rumors of Hanayome. But I didn't pick it up. It creeped me out, so I left. I was never able to give that person one final call because of that. Who are you talking about? It is not for children to know. Fine. So there are other phone boxes like that? I think there are 3 that Hanayome will call from. The one we went to in the 8 highway parking lots is one, and one is at Tea Mountain Rest Area. That's the one Miss Christie went to. And, Ada, where's the last one?
At the Park by Tea apartment complex. It's the only one inside the city.
But why just those 3 locations?
Don't know. The BBS I read didn't say.
Mister? Do you really think Hanayome is the one who gave us the marks? Of course. But the rumors about Hanayome go back 5 years. And no one's ever mentioned that if you call her, you'll get a mark.
Suzu's right. The rumors about this mark thing only popped up super recently.
So you're saying Hanayome hasn't always been giving out the mark? If that's true, I wonder what triggered the change. Of course, I can't really say, seeing as I don't know anything about spirits. A ghost helping people find what they're looking for. That's pretty strange. Definitely the definition of ghost story. Hey, Mr. Yashiki. If those rumors are true, why don't we try asking where the stolen statues are? If we return them to their places, it might just save our lives. Search for the Buddha statues. If Christie's right, we might be able to escape the mark without fighting a spirits. Mary, what do you think? A good question. Objects with human forms are easily able to gain inexplicable powers. I mean, just look at me. I'm a talking doll. Bleeding stone statues, cursed dolls, there are many examples. Historical statues of gods and Buddhas would certainly be no exception. Asking Hanayome would then be a good idea. So says the doll before our eyes that has the inexplicable power to talk. Maybe it wouldn't be strange that Buddha statues could bring down divine wrath. Lord Yashiki, may I add, as I explained previously, your mark is... it is different from the others. Vanquishing spirits seems to weaken your mark's power. It's been several days since she told me I was going to die. Taking care of the spirits we encountered is likely how I'm still among the living. What are you trying to say? I cannot say what the relationship between your mark and Hanayome is. But it is true it is in your best interest to track down spirits. I hope you will guide these mark bearers this evening as well. Great, I'm taking the role of Regalius then. I can't really picture Christy and Ada facing off against the spirit by themselves. If they failed, then the child would suffer the deadly consequences. That would weigh heavily on me. No turning back, I'll figure something out. Thank you. Mary bows her head slightly. Now, you should begin investigating Hanayome. Why does she only call from 3 public phones within each city? Her secret may lie in the answer. You visited the parking lot already. Please investigate T Mountain and the Park by T apartment complex. Okay, I'm taking... Ada, I'm taking you. Okay? The phone booth stands solitary on the edge of the vacant rest area. And then the sea of trees stand behind it. Christy must have run into the forest after she heard the phone ring. Oh no. I can hear a dog howl from nearby. It almost sounds sad, but I'm probably just imagining it. It doesn't seem to bother Ada. He's only paying attention to the phone box.
It's gotta be the phone. That's gotta be the booth the rumors mention. Something about it just feels off. Like everything's telling me this is it.
Rumors say the phone is supposed to ring if you wait by it for a while. I'm guessing waiting outside doesn't count.
Yeah, probably not. When I tried, it didn't ring until after I'd gone inside the thing.
But the booth is too small for 2 people. Either I or Ada will have to go in.
I'll pass. I'm kinda big, so yeah, me and cramped spaces don't work.
I guess I'll just have to go in. Wow, way to help me. It's cramped inside and almost impossible to move around at all. I'd be a sitting duck if a spirit attacked me while I'm in here. And the clouded glass makes it hard to see the outside. That just makes me more nervous. I wonder how long I have to wait until the phone rings. To pass the time, I glance around at the inside of the booth. There's a poster attached to the window. Help our investigation. On the night of 2/8/1990X, an assault took place in the nearby forest. Okay, now is that February or is that August? It depends on which, whether the day is first before the month or the month and then the day. If anyone has any info on this case, please notify H Police Department. This is dated 5 years ago. Looks like something terrible happened here. Oh yeah, I wonder what. The phone begins to ring. I hesitantly reach out and pick it up. The only sound I hear is the dial tone. No one is speaking. What's going on? Ada, if you're prank calling me from out there, I'm going to get out of this phone booth and not really do anything to you, but I will be mad. Suddenly, there's a strange noise. Crunching, smacking, like the sound of saliva as someone chews. Or perhaps the sound of someone who's recording something and doesn't think to maybe tone down the mouth sounds. Did you see it? Tucked in the smacking is a woman's voice. The voice is creepy, cold, and chills me down to the bone. Is this Hanayome? Did you see it? She asks a second time. The rumors mention that I should say, I haven't seen it. Very seriously, I say I haven't seen it. What do you want to see? It's going exactly as the rumor said. Hanayome is supposed to tell you the location of whatever you're looking for. Christy told me to ask about the Buddha statues that were stolen from each shrine. I'll give it a try. Buddha statues? Lord Buddha? Doesn't your arm already have the mark of the Buddha on it? Tell me, you want a new Buddha? Why are you doing that? Tell me. Well, tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Okay, I'm not reading all of that. Tell me. The line goes dead. The woman's scream is still ringing in my ears. I feel sick. It must be because of my brush with that blood-curdling insanity. Why didn't she answer my question? What was different from when the others asked? The mark on my arm burns dully, like it's reminding me it exists. Maybe this is why she was acting strangely. And she did say something to the effect that Buddha gave me this mark. Was she just too insane to differentiate between Buddha and the monstrous spirit? Or is this mark really the work of divine wrath from the Buddha statues? I wait a while longer, but the phone doesn't ring again. There's no point in staying here. As soon as I leave the booth, Ada comes up to me.
You're drenched in sweat. Did something happen?
I tell Ada about my conversation with Hanayome.
Weird. No one mentioned that online.
Well, I'd imagine they'd be dead, okay? They're probably passed into the great beyond. Ada's brow furrows in confusion.
Anyway, why don't we try going to the other phone booth? There could be clues there. You could try there too.
There's no time to get lost in thoughts. The last phone booth is by a park at T Apartments in the other direction. We'll head there after stopping at the mansion. It's probably wise to ask Mary what she knows since it's on the way. Alright, well, that didn't really tell me much. I tell Mary what happened at the phone box. You say Hanayome acted strangely. She called the spirit that cursed you with your mark Buddha. I cannot say I know what she saw, but from what you said, she will likely not respond to your question. That does not mean she does not understand you, however. Use any method available to obtain as much information as you can. In other words... Oh dear. I see a small park tucked between all of the looming apartment buildings. There's no one here. I guess everyone's already asleep. Okay, unplug from the game for a bit. I'm not gonna lie, either those buildings are really, really far, or those apartments are really, really small. Just a detail thing, you know, doesn't matter in gameplay.
I'm pretty sure that's the phone booth from the Hanayome rumors. Man, parks are kinda eerie when there are no kids around.
Well, now that I'm here, I still have no idea why Hanayome hung up on me. I followed the rumors exactly. Where did I go wrong? I scratch my head. Don't adhere to the gossip. Defy it. Suddenly I hear that strange voice again. Gossip. In other words, the rumors. What will happen if I don't follow the rumors? Ada, go back to the car. There's something I want to try. But it might end up backfiring on me.
Okay. Make sure you come back. I can't drive, so... Oh, right. Wait a sec.
Ada puffs out his chest and holds his index finger up.
I've got some good info from the BBS. I guess Hanayome has this weird fixation on eyes. If something goes wrong, just remember that.
So what are you telling me to do?
I'm not really sure either. Anyway, just avoid saying I and things like that.
Don't talk about myself? I'm imagining that this is like a translation thing, you know? It could be like a pun, like it's using the same word that could be used for I and I, right? But it kind of gets lost in translation since it's like, you know. If it was just voices, okay, maybe you could see that happening, but since we can see the text and see that's referring to like eyeballs, it's, you know.
No, I mean EYE as in eyeball. Oh, and just in case, don't mention words that have that sound either.
There's a limit to unreliability. I'll keep it in mind. Hey, we gotta get every bit of information we get, Yashiki. I step inside and wait for the phone to ring. There's a poster in this booth, too. Just like the one at the rest area, this looks like it's been here for a few years. Young woman kidnapped. A young local woman was kidnapped close to this location. If you're a witness to this crime, please notify the police. MPD. February 8th, 5 years ago. Okay, well that answers my question earlier. I think the poster I saw at the rest area had the exact same date. Coincidence? I think not. The phone rings. I grab the receiver and slowly pick it up. I hear a noise like someone chewing gum from the other end of the phone. An icy cold voice speaks. Did you see it? What if I just say no? I'm curious. The line goes dead. I wait a while longer, but the phone doesn't ring again. I guess I should step out and try again. Oh no, it's making me return all the way to Kujo Mansion before I can try it again. Okay, that's what I get for goofing around. Yes.
You saw, didn't you? You saw that thing of me?
The voice cuts off. Oh, okay. Something outside collides violently with the glass of the booth, but I can't see it. Live. Or get mauled by someone who's uncomfortable with her appearance.
Tell me, how did you see it? With your own eyes or eyeglasses? A telescope?
With a telescope. It sounds like something searching around outside the phone box.
You saw it. You said you saw it. What color? A beautiful color? Red, pink, green?
I think it was red, maybe pink. I think it was pink. Maybe pink.
You saw it. What kind of person are you? What's important to you? Your dreams, romance, love? Which do you choose?
Romance is great. I think it's pretty neat. Again, I know it's a translation thing, but it's just a little bit funny. Just saying, just like having a really serious moment, just being like, romance is great. Survived, because I'm avoiding eyes. The phone goes dead. The next I know, the bloody handprint is gone, and so is the ominous presence. The questions she asked me were strange. She was particularly anxious about what I had seen. I think I did a good job not mentioning anything like eyes in my answers. Overly conscious over being seen. Maybe that's where her secret lies. I exit the booth and Ada rushes up to me.
Did something happen? My mark hurt all of a sudden.
I tell Ada about what happened in the phone booth.
Man, he beats me.
Okay, well, you know what? You gave me useful information, so I won't rag on you too much. Guess there's no way he'd have the answer.
Oh, hey.
Something's on the ground there. Sure enough, there's a folded up piece of paper lying near the booth. Looks like a piece of stationery. I don't think it was there before I went into the phone box. I pick up the paper and open it. To Seiko. I'll dispel all of your heartache. So forget that horrible incident and take a quiet rest up in heaven. An incident? The poster I saw in the telephone booth mentioned something like that too. Could they be connected? I wonder. There's posters talking about a woman that's going missing, who's kidnapped. And there's this Hanayome person that doesn't like to be seen.
I wonder, is there perhaps a connection to it? Who knows? I ask Ada what they think. I don't know. I don't think he's considering it seriously. Anyway, we visited all 3 boxes now. Want to head back? I bet Suzu's worried about us. Yeah. We should probably head back for now. Oh, welcome back. Christie's there in the garage. She's going through the files full of articles and criminal cases. How did the investigation go? Okay, I guess. Ada and I tell Christie what we discovered. I see. I can see Christie's mind working. Hey, Mr. Yashiki. Do you know those posters and that bit of stationery you found? Could they be linked to Hanayome? She might have been someone who was caught up in the incident and killed. And if that's the case, then... She glances over at the files. The dates were 5 years ago, right? Then there might be an article on what happened here in these files. Let's get Suzu to help out too. Go, get a move on. Really? You're gonna make a kid read all of this? All 4 of us begin reading through the files. The clippings range from the smallest dispute to the most heinous crime in H City. But they're all dated 5 years ago or earlier. Did they get stored in the garage because they're so old? After a while... I might have found it. It's from 5 years ago in February. The victim's name is Seiko. Ada lays the file out on the desk and we all peer at it. The file has articles about an incident that happened 5 years ago. The victim's name was Seiko Hasegawa. Apparently, she committed suicide in the forest by H Castle on the eve of her wedding. She was in her dress when she was found. Suzu, you probably shouldn't read anymore. It's pretty bad. Thanks, Ada. But I want to know more about Hanayome. I feel like I need to do this. She's cringing, but she sounds determined. Between this and sneaking out at night, she's a surprisingly brave kid. It's rather odd for someone her age. I remember now. This happened back when I used to be a news anchor. Christie mutters just loud enough to hear. Then do you know the whole story? It was horrible. It's hard to recount. A woman was abducted by a gang while she was walking her dog. They brought her to the forest and assaulted her. People found her battered and staggering along the road the next day. The dog was run over and killed near the forest when it chased after them. That's horrifying. Yeah, but that wasn't the end of Seiko Hasegawa's misfortune. Eita somberly cuts in. His usual grin is nowhere to be found. It's well known in some circles, but her assault was photographed. The pictures were sent to her fiancé. They threatened to make them public if he didn't pay up. I heard he gave them a ton of money to get the photos and negatives. Is that true, Christie? Yeah, I heard that as well. Because of all that, Miss Seiko had a mental breakdown. And in the end, she hung herself. She'd been a serious, honest woman, so she just couldn't bear it. The cruel fate of a woman attacked before her wedding. We fall silent as that reality weighs on us.
Suzu timidly speaks up, her face pale. Maybe there's a connection between what happened to Miss Hasegawa and the Hanayome's phone boxes? According to the article, the incidents that wrecked her life took place near each phone box. She was abducted by the park and assaulted by the rest area. She was found wandering near the parking lot by A Highway. The phone booths connect to Hanayome and Seiko Hasegawa. The coincidence sends a shiver down my spine. So that note we found by the telephone booth, did Seiko's fiancé write it? Most likely. What's strange is it was there and not where she committed suicide. Did Hanayome put it there? Maybe she was telling us something. I have no clue how spirits think, but if Suzu's right, then that note is an important clue for us. I seem to recall Miss Seiko's fiancé was a famous musician. As a result, the case was widely publicized at the time. It happened right after they returned from a romantic trip to Greece. Old ladies were sobbing about how it made it all the more tragic. And the poor dog they brought on the trip died heroically as well. Where's the fiancé now? Well, he began acting strange due to the shock and then went missing. Some say her suicide was to follow him. But wasn't the only one who disappeared? It sounds like all of the culprits went missing too. You hear about that online too? Well, something like that. The internet wasn't the same back then. They were only hubs. Hubs? Like pre-internet chat rooms? Everyone was talking about it on the occult hubs back then. There was one person in the community who knew way too much. I think he was one of the culprits. He brought up a bunch of things, like taking pictures and all that. And I bet those pictures were of the assault. Yeah, that's right. After they were finished, those a-holes got a camera out and took pictures of her, her face soaked with tears. The whole time she yelled, "Don't look! Don't look!" Don't look, huh? Hanayome has an extreme reaction to being seen by others. He kept going on about it night after night, until he suddenly stopped posting. People who knew him said they couldn't contact him at all. Those guys deserve to die, but it's still really creepy, you know? Suddenly a line from the note pops into my head. I'll dispel all of your heartache. Hey, Christy. Do you happen to know exactly where in the forest Seiko killed herself? I was a reporter at the time, so I did go to the location. But that was 5 years ago, so I don't remember exactly. I feel like I went west from that big arch at the entrance. So you're really going to go? Yeah, we might be able to figure out something about Hanayome. Okay. Though I'd much prefer to stay here. Yeah, well, that makes this a bit of a slam dunk case. And now that I have used you, Eita, I'm going to now use you. I know that you were useful in the last one, but I expect you to be useful in this one. This is more awkward than I thought. Being out alone with someone who, until recently, was planning to kill herself. do you have something you want to say? She noticed right away. Was I being that obvious? No, not really. It's fine, you don't have to hide it. You're wondering if I still want to kill myself, aren't you? Is this a woman's intuition? No, maybe I'm just crap at hiding things. Don't worry, I don't want to anymore. People hate it when things are forced on them, right? Doesn't matter what it is. I can trust you, right? Yes. At least, for now. Here's hoping she keeps feeling the same, at least while we're together. Just then the tires hit a bump in the road. A bump does not make that sound. I can see a square gray object in the back seat through the rearview mirror. Is that thing back there yours? No. That's Ada's CD radio cassette player. Why something like that? He said we might need music during the drive, and went and put it in here himself. But we don't have any CDs or tapes. Should I turn on the radio? No, I'll pass. The conversation grinds to a halt after that. It's like there's an invisible person between us. After falling silent a while, Christy finally speaks up again. It only makes sense for the conversation to turn one direction. It's rather worrisome, don't you think? After all this time, they don't know. Who doesn't know what? Those two. They think that spirit just helps you find things. What a naive fairy tale. Yeah. Christy is exactly right. You quickly become disillusioned once you actually face a spirit. But thinking about it, wouldn't that be best? Christy looks at me in shock. Wait, what are you saying? I just mean, our lives on the line here. Would you stop joking around? Sorry. She's furious at me. But it looks like she was telling the truth about not wanting to die. She's got too much pride. Someone like that would never commit suicide. Or so they say, but you never know. What's so funny? Nothing. Will we make it back again? I stare at the headlights and contemplate where we're going. That sigh was pretty deep. I can't believe we're back here again. At least I can feel better knowing he's not around anymore. I almost remind her about Hanayome, but I stop myself from opening my mouth. I don't want to break her tenuous calm. Okay. It's supposed to be west of the gate. I look to the west of the gate again, but there's no sign of a trail. Strange, maybe I'm remembering wrong? When I came here researching an article, there was a path to the west. Huh? Suddenly Christy's face stiffens. What's wrong? I feel cold all of a sudden. A doggo. I follow their gaze and see a low shadow dashing out from the darkness. What is going on with your face? A dog? It certainly seems like one. It kicks up the dirt with 4 legs. But it looks off somehow. Its fur is long and disheveled, and from certain angles it looks like a human. The dog stares at us, growling softly. What is it? Are you trying to tell us something? You're being too gentle with it. You need to sound firm when you talk to a dog. Act like its master. Weaker dogs like to bark, right? So ignore it and stay quiet. I guess that's true for humans too. Powerful people tend to ignore others. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. You know, I can kinda see the dog face. The dog barks loudly, and then vanishes into the western underbrush. The moment it's gone, the chill in the air dissipates like it was never there. Was it trying to guide us? Maybe. I shine the flashlight on the spot where the dog disappeared. A now familiar pain shoots through my wrist. The mark's color grows more vivid. Early dawn. A few hours left until death closes in. There's probably not much time left. We better hurry. Let's check the bushes over there. Alright. With the dog gone, I push my way into the underbrush. I spot the traces of what used to be a path. You could barely call it one at this point. This must be the closed hiking trail. That's right, I remember now. This is the path I took before. That dog, was it trying to show this to us? Who knows? Anyway, let's get going. There's gonna be a ghost here. Or maybe not. It's here somewhere. Jump scare ghost. What's this? A wad of paper. A talisman. Thank goodness. Alright. What's to the left? Oh, that's all sorts of horrible. Let's come back to that, okay? I hear a low growl from somewhere. I can't see what's making it, but it seems to be watching me. Oh, we did see that dog at the gate. I'm not sure why, but I feel an intense hostility directed toward me. Whoa. What do we do? Something's coming. The instinct first he speaks. The growling grows distinctly quieter. Except it doesn't look like it'll let us through. Let's turn back. We retreat without trying to force our way past. Alright then, okay. I guess I'm not with the right person. Okay, fine. I'll look at the creepy photos nailed here. I shine the light on the grove of trees in front of us and catch a glimpse of something odd. Mister? What's that? Something stuck to that tree over there. I can't make it out from here. I move forward for a closer look. What is this? All thought in my mind ceases. It's as if I'm unable to process what I'm seeing and my brain comes to a halt. Are these photos? There are a bunch of pictures of different people posted to the tree. But they're all... what is this? Why do all the eyes have nails? It's just as Suzu said. For some bizarre reason, each photo has a person with nails driven through both eyes. Attached to the nails is some kind of tape. Cold sweat drips down my back. What kind of grudge would cause someone to do something like this? All of the pictures, they're all men. Suzu's mutters are just loud enough to hear. Huh? I look over the photos again. A good number of them are deteriorated, so they're hard to make out, but they may be right. Yeah, looks like it. All the subjects are men. That's clearly not a coincidence. I feel a little dizzy and step back. Through my blurry vision, something flashes in the light from the flashlight. Is something wrong? Nothing, it's just over there. Something sparkled up there. Something might be up there. We should check it out. Something up in the branches of the trees reflecting light. Something must be stuck in the branches. The only way we'll be able to check it out is to climb up the trunk. You're going to climb up the tree? There aren't any cavities, knots, or branches within reach. It'll be hard to climb up it. So, boost my partner up. If that's all, then okay, I'll try. I squat at the base of the tree and let her climb up on me. Up you go! I stagger a bit but manage to stand. I feel like I'm under the trees now. Can you reach? Just a little bit to the right. I'm almost there. Susie reaches as far as she can with her hand and I lose my balance. We both crash to the ground. Are you okay? I'm fine. Here. Suzu shows me her hands. It's holding the object that was stuck in the branches. Dog collar. A collar? It makes me think of that dog we saw before coming here. Does this belong to that dog? I wonder who threw it away. Who knows? As I'm putting it away in my bag, I spot an inscription on the inside of the collar. I don't know Greek. How are you supposed to pronounce that? A dog collar found hanging in a tree in Teff Forest. That is very funny. Maybe Christy would know about it? I remember the photos. All of them were men. All of them were men with nails in their eyes. I don't know what that has to do with the dog. But if those pictures demonstrate the hatred that saturates this place, if I'm with Christy, it might react differently. I consider my options. Yeah, I've got an idea. I take the collar out of my bag. Maybe? It's a safe bet that the spirit was born here, so the dog is likely tied to this collar. I face the general area the barking is coming from and show it to the collar. The dog appears like a gust of wind. Whoa! Before I can blink, it steals the collar from me. Live or die. When I try to quickly jump away, I hear Christy call out to me. No, Yashiki! Just ignore it! But I don't catch the rest of it. The dog rushes at me so fast it looks like it's gliding over the ground. Stand still. Stand your ground. The dog stops in its tracks. It seems confused that I'm not reacting, just standing still. It shuffles back on its guard, then prepares to attack again. It bares its teeth and growls. You are not worth my time, mutt. I break my gaze and turn my back to it. I pretend to not hear it threatening me. It growls for a while until it abruptly stops. The dog holds the collar in its mouth and stares at me. That collar has an inscription on it, doesn't it? I'm sure it said... whatever the hell that's pronounced. What should I call it? Probably not L, that's too obvious. S doesn't make a lick of sense in this case. Gonna pray I don't die. Genta. I mutter the name. The dog perks its ears. I say it again, this time more clearly. Then. Ugh, thank goodness. The dog turns around and quietly slinks into the brush. It disappears from sight. Seems I somehow managed to escape death. I pick up the collar that was left behind and sigh deeply. Are you alright? Yeah, that was... I can't even say it was no big deal. My words simply trail off. That's all I can answer with. I pat myself down with my hands, but I don't seem to be injured anywhere. I did feel teeth biting into my hand when the collar was snatched from me, though. That dog. Maybe supernatural. I hope it doesn't attack again. I'd like to think it won't. It found what it was looking for, it seems. So we'll be fine, right? You're right about that. Alright, let's move forward. A sound like a rope creaks above my head. Silhouettes swinging in the shadow of the trees. My whole body shudders with dread. No, it can't be. Corpses? Do you really think they're just going to leave corpses here? Christy gives a terrified yelp. Then again, they did leave those corpses in the bee farm, so... Speechless, I shine my flashlight on them. They clearly aren't people. They're mannequins. The things hanging by their necks from the trees are display mannequins you can find in any department store. Obviously, dolls can't commit suicide. Is this someone's idea of a prank? Or maybe a warning to intruders? The only one who knows the truth would be whoever did this. Let's go. I don't think they're dangerous. They're only mannequins. It's not like we already have a living doll. Right, yes, I know. Christy replies uneasily. But before either of us take a step forward, I feel a shaky hand gripping onto me. There's going to be a ghost here. You? Or maybe you. Somewhere there. Really, nothing? Huh. Feel it. Grabbing onto it to stop it from swaying, I open the hand and take what's inside. More life points for me. Okay, well that's a bit of a bummer. There it is again. It's that dog from before. It starts digging in the dirt right in front of us. Aww. Do you have something for me? After a few moments, it disappears like mist. It was moving oddly. I wonder if something is buried over there. Let's take a look. Before that, Hanayome, you in the forest. Ah, interesting. I reach out and touch the dirt, but the texture under my hand surprises me. The dirt around here is soft, almost as if something was buried. Give me a hand. What? You're going to dig up the dirt? I don't think we'll need any tools. Please? I guess I don't have a choice. This'll be hell on my nails. In silence, we kneel in this forest in the middle of the night and dig up the dirt with our hands. I feel like I'm robbing a grave. It could be that those words popped into my head because I somehow knew what we'd find. Distracted, I look down on what we dug up. What we find is a corpse. It's just a skeleton now, but it doesn't look that old. That's why I didn't want to do this, digging up the dirt like that. Yeah. My reply sounds incredibly flat and uncaring even to me. At some point, death has become familiar. That fact, and not the corpse, is what sends a shiver down my spine. I'm too comfortable with the world of the dead. I know this, but I can't escape it. One part of me observes the remains before us and reacts calmly. Just then, I notice something. What's that? There's something white in the skeleton's hand. I dig it out and discover it's a plastic bag. Inside are a number of cassette tapes and some kind of note. The note's deteriorated, but parts of it are legible. I killed them all. Ones assault you. Now you rest in peace. What needed to be done. Now I die here. This forest, you passed away. New song. Want, listen, heaven. The note ends there. From the contents, that's a suicide note. I can understand that part, but... She looks at the cassette tapes. What are these tapes about? They look at the remains as if asking them the question. Of course it's not going to reply. I don't know. I trail off. A different voice is whispering in my mind. The last. The voice falls silent. The last? Wait a second. The last what? Oh, what's wrong? I haven't said anything, you know? It's nothing. Sorry, just talking to myself. The last song, you dimwit. Anyway, let's take these tapes with us. Well, that was a fruitful adventure, and I'm... Oh, okay. Perspective is one hell of a thing. Are you going to... There is a ghost back there. Oh, no, that's not a ghost. Well, there's nothing here, so... Let us return back to our wonderful home. Is there really nothing?